my channel. My name is Kenesha Williams and I am a writer. And today is Wednesday, so I wanted to do a what I'm working on Wednesday instead of a what I'm reading Wednesday. So for those of you who don't know, September is Zero Draft 30. Zero Draft 30 is kind of like NaNoWRIMO except for screenplays. So it's 30 days in September to finish a screenplay. Now most screenplays are about 90 to 120 pages. So you're averaging about 3 to 4 pages a day of your screenplay. Now writing a screenplay is different than writing a novel. One of the reasons is, of course, there's much more dialogue in screenplays, and also there is what they call action in screenplays. Action is kind of what it sounds like. Action is the movements that the camera or the actors are doing. So when you start out a screenplay, you usually start with the setting, and it'll be interior or exterior, so inside or outside. And those notes are for when your screenplay hopefully gets produced into a film. That's for all of the people that make the film work to know, is this going to be an outside shot or an inside shot? So it'll say something like interior, Kenesha's home, day, so that everyone knows how this scene is going to be set up. And then you'll have the action. So the action is what the characters are doing. Then you'll have the title of the character and then their dialogue. Now this is a very, very simplistic way I'm explaining how to write a screenplay. And if anybody would like me to share more about writing a screenplay and what goes into it, I can do that in another video. But this is just a way to get a feel for how you write a screenplay. And so because it is the setting, then the action, and then the dialogue of the characters, screenplay pages are much shorter. And when I say shorter, I mean they have less words than a traditional prose novel page will have. So it's not as intense in the number of word output you need as NaNoWRIMO is, but writing a screenplay is difficult in its own special way. So to help with accountability for Zero Draft 30, what I've done is I started a Slack group for accountability. So in the Slack group, I have 5 members right now that I recruited from friends on Twitter that I know write screenplays already. And we are going to keep each other accountable. We are telling each other our log lines. We are getting feedback if needs so. And then if you want to team up with someone to write a screenplay, we can also do that there. So I'm really excited about September to get a screenplay completed. So I have an idea, and my idea then translated into what's called a log line. A log line is basically a 1 to 2 sentence summary of your entire screenplay. I know some people are saying like, oh my God, my screenplay is so big, or my story is so big, how can I condense it into 2 sentences? That's crazy. And it can be hard when you're first attempting to write a log line, especially if you've never done one. So I kind of have like a log line formula I like to use. So for me, my log line formula is usually main character, antagonist, event, and what will happen if the character does not overcome the antagonist / event. So for example, let me see, a young girl goes to her grandmother's house to find she's been replaced by a wolf and must defeat the wolf and save her grandmother from certain death. So if that sounds familiar, that's me spitballing a log line for Little Red Riding Hood. So of course, all the details about Little Red Riding Hood aren't in that log line, but it gives you a succinct elevator pitch for the story. So that's basically what a log line is. And log lines used to be, in the old days of scripts, would actually be written on the spine of the script. So when a producer or a studio got a script from somebody, they'd have them in a library of all these scripts lined up on a bookshelf, and their assistants could read down the spine what the log line was so that they knew immediately what that script was about. So if your producer or your studio was like, hey, we want a thriller with a female main character, being able to go look at that bookshelf and just go look down the spines of what the log line is made your job a lot easier. Of course, now we have the internet and we have online databases and all those things where the log line does not have to be written down the spine of your script, but it is still a very useful tool for whoever is receiving your screenplay to get a snapshot of what your screenplay is about. So, I'm not going to share my log line with you today, but I believe that at the end of the month, when my screenplay is done and I get it registered with the WGA, which is the Writers Guild of America, which is kind of like a copyright for screenplays. It's basically something that says this is a screenplay you wrote. In fact, I have one for a screenplay I wrote before. So it's called a document of registration. So it says the Writers Guild of America West Incorporated issues this certificate to Kenesha Williams for the material entitled Wild by the following Kenesha Williams, writer. And then I have a registration number and the material type, which is a screenplay, and then who it was registered by. So this was registered in 2017 and it expires in 2022. But I have already sold this screenplay. So this is my registration for that one. So I always recommend to get your screenplay registered with the WGA. You don't have to, because with copyright, once you've written something, it is copywritten as yours. But I just do it just in case. So it's like another level of insurance. So I think that's going to be it for what I'm working on Wednesday. So I'm working on a screenplay for Zero Draft 30. And if you are also working on a screenplay for Zero Draft 30, leave me a comment below and tell me what you're working on, or just say, hey, I'm doing Zero Draft 30. And if you want to follow me more on the screenplay journey for the month of September, you can follow me on Twitter, because that's where I'll be talking about Zero Draft 30 the most. I'm also part of the official Zero Draft 30 Facebook group, which is created by Scott Myers of Go Into the Story, who actually created Zero Draft 30. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video today, and I will see you Friday.